Before Missouri became a state, its lands were a dynamic crossroads of cultures and empires. This period, stretching from the late 17th century to the early 19th century, saw European powers vying for control. It was a time of exploration, settlement, and profound change for both newcomers and indigenous peoples. French explorers were among the first Europeans to navigate the Mississippi River. Jacques Marquette and Louis Joliet charted these waters in 1673, claiming the vast territory of Louisiana for France. Their expeditions laid the groundwork for future French presence in the heart of North America. Permanent French settlements soon followed. Kaskaskia, though technically in present-day Illinois, served as a vital hub for the region. It was a center for trade and administration, influencing the lands across the Mississippi. St. Genevieve, established around 1735, holds the distinction of being Missouri's first permanent European settlement. Its location on the fertile floodplains of the Mississippi River made it ideal for agriculture. French farmers cultivated crops using traditional methods, creating a distinct cultural enclave. The French economy in this region was largely driven by the fur trade. Coureurs des bois, or runners of the woods, ventured deep into the wilderness, trading with Native American tribes for valuable pelts. These furs were then shipped downriver to New Orleans and eventually to Europe. Lead mining also emerged as a significant industry. Discoveries in the Mine La Motte area, south of St. Genevieve, attracted miners and entrepreneurs. This resource was crucial for ammunition and other industrial uses, further integrating the region into the global economy. These early settlements were characterized by a unique blend of European and indigenous practices. French culture, language, and religion took root, but adapted to the realities of the North American frontier. The arrival of the French profoundly impacted the indigenous populations of the region. Tribes such as the Osage, Missouri, Illini, and Kickapoo had long inhabited these lands. Their societies were complex, with established trade networks and territorial claims. Initial interactions often involved trade and alliances. The French sought furs and military support, while Native Americans gained access to European goods like tools, firearms, and textiles. These relationships were often mutually beneficial, fostering a degree of cooperation. However, disputes inevitably arose over land, resources, and cultural misunderstandings. European diseases, to which Native Americans had no immunity, also devastated indigenous communities. These factors led to periods of tension and occasional conflict. A geopolitical landscape of North America shifted dramatically after the 7 Years' War. In 1762, by the secret Treaty of Fontainebleau, France ceded its vast Louisiana territory west of the Mississippi River to Spain. This transfer was a strategic move to compensate Spain for its losses to Great Britain. For the inhabitants of the Missouri region, this change in sovereignty was initially met with uncertainty. Many French settlers were reluctant to accept Spanish rule, and some even considered relocating. However, the transition was largely peaceful, as Spanish authorities sought to maintain stability. Spanish administration brought new laws and policies, but French culture and language largely persisted. The Spanish often relied on French officials and customs to govern the territory, recognizing the established social order. Under Spanish dominion, new settlements continued to flourish. St. Louis, founded in 1764 by Pierre Laclede and Auguste Chouteau, quickly became a pivotal center. Its strategic location near the confluence of the Mississippi and Missouri rivers made it ideal for the fur trade. St. Louis grew rapidly, attracting traders, merchants, and settlers from various backgrounds. It served as the administrative and economic hub for Upper Louisiana, overseeing a vast network of trading posts and smaller communities. The city's grid plan and stone architecture reflected its growing importance. Spanish authorities also encouraged settlement through land grants, attracting American frontiersmen to the region. This influx of diverse populations further shaped the cultural mosaic of what would become Missouri. The turn of the 19th century brought another dramatic shift in ownership. In 1800, by the secret Treaty of San Ildefonso, Spain retroceded Louisiana back to France. This decision was driven by Napoleon Bonaparte's ambitions for a renewed French empire in North America. However, France's control over Louisiana was short-lived and largely nominal. Napoleon's focus soon shifted to European conflicts, and the logistics of maintaining a vast colonial empire proved challenging. The brief period of French re-ownership was marked by uncertainty and anticipation. News of the transfer slowly reached the remote settlements along the Mississippi. For the residents, it meant another change in allegiance, though daily life continued with little immediate alteration. The stage was now set for the final, monumental transfer of power. Napoleon's strategic calculations led him to offer the entire Louisiana territory to the United States. Facing financial difficulties and the prospect of renewed war with Great Britain, he saw an opportunity to fund his European campaigns and prevent the territory from falling into British hands. The United States, under President Thomas Jefferson, eagerly seized this opportunity. The Louisiana Purchase, finalized in 1803, doubled the size of the young nation. It marked the end of European colonial claims over this vast expanse, including the lands of present-day Missouri. The period between early French settlement and the Louisiana Purchase was a foundational era for Missouri. It was a time when three European powers, France, Spain, and briefly France again, left their indelible marks on the land and its people. This complex history of exploration, trade, conflict, and cultural exchange shaped the unique identity of Missouri. The legacy of these empires, from French place names to Spanish land grants, continues to resonate throughout the state today.